Body, Tie Sights, Shadow Games Report, Part 4 of Resident Evil 4 today. Ugh. Still waking up, y'all. It looked like I was wearing like one of those, what are they called? Like one of those weird toboggan type, not a toboggan, what am I thinking of? One of those Russian hats with the earlobe things on it. I thought I was wearing one of those for a second. I was like, no, I'm not. It's just like the way the screen looks. Alright, anyways. How's it going, everybody? Let's go get into the news before I get sidetracked. I've been getting sidetracked lately. I don't want to get sidetracked. I also even started the show a little bit late, so I want to get straight into the news before we get into the game. We usually do about 30 minutes of news before we get into it. We got the speaker being tested today. GOP House Speaker vote. Mike Johnson's leadership tested. Gonna go through the headlines real quick. Voter ID law debate rekindled on social media. Trump's imminent return to the White House. Britt Allcroft's legacy remembered. I have no idea who that is. FBI speaks public help in unresolved pipe bomb case. Cybertruck explosion at Trump Hotel. Army soldier identified. Apple settles Siri privacy lawsuit for $95 million. Instagram test AI profiles to engage users. States reintroduce mask mandates in hospitals. Ooh, wait, which state? California? States, plural, states, so multiple states. They calls for inquiry into Starmer's CPS role amid grooming gang allegations. Yeah, it was kind of weird because I was actually getting some positive media about Starmer a few weeks ago, and then all of a sudden, we got all this going on with Elon Musk and Starmer now. Elon Musk is asking the king of all people to call for elections or something like that. I don't really understand. UK politics, it's really kind of just, I don't know. Nothing makes sense to me when it comes to that. Like it, I feel like they would be so much further advanced, but they really aren't. They just the parliamentary system seems like it's even more bogged down than ours. I don't know. Ozempic's double edge, weight loss and lawsuits. Ooh, kind of curious. Been making fun of Ozempic the past year. I need to figure out what's going on here. The diabetes and weight loss drug Ozempic. It's a diabetes drug? I didn't know that. Has been at the center of numerous discussions due to its effectiveness and side effects. Some users report significant weight loss and reduced alcohol consumption, while others express concerns over potential long-term health risks like gastroparesis and muscle mass loss. Legal actions have also emerged, with patients suing over alleged severe side effects such as gastrointestinal issues. These drugs have been around and studied for over 20 years. Yes, I'm aware they were initially just for diabetes. With any weight loss, there are side effects. If you drop weight too quickly and lose too much skeletal muscle mass, which is why they are doled out by prescription, and you take them under the care of a doctor or PA/MP that specializes in obesity medicine. And yes, with any medicine, you are going to hear about the extremes in the media, and people are going to find a way to abuse it. I've been on the lowest dose, the starter dose of first semaglutide, Ozempic/Wegovy. Jesus. Now, tirzepatide. I really don't care. Manjaro Zepbound for over a year now and have been going very low and slow. Just hit 40 pounds down. You need to be taking the smallest effective dose, but a lot of insurance companies are demanding people keep going up and up in dosage for them to continue covering against doctors and patients' desires, of course. And you are seeing so many people half their size because so many people were incredibly inflamed from a diet high in ultra processed foods and having metabolic dysfunction from various lifestyle factors. When you heal hormonal imbalance, metabolic dysfunction, and increase insulin sensitivity, the body will drop the pounds it no longer needs, which includes fat and lean muscle mass. It claims impulses so you are able to listen to your body's natural desire for whole foods and natural nutrients slash minerals, so the severe mineral deficiency that most Americans have gets healed. You can also get vitamins. Just to remind people those are a thing. They don't go away, really. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like the main thing everybody needs to get their body to do what it needs to do. And yes, I agree with you. You need to avoid high processed food. Actually, let me go back to this real quick. I want to see what other post. Speaking of the side effects of Ozempic, almost everyone on it barely drinks anymore. It's a very beneficial side effect for so many folks. Also, people that use Ozempic have terrible breath. It slows down your digestion, and food can sit in your stomach for days, and the food actually starts to rot. Ew. Ew. I don't believe that. I really don't, especially if you only have like one meal a day. I don't know. That's just what am I doing? Why am I talking about this? I don't care, y'all. I really don't. All right, let's go back to this. The U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote for Speaker of the House, where incumbent Mike Johnson faces a significant challenge to his leadership despite endorsement from former President Donald Trump. There is notable opposition within the Republican Party, highlighted by Rep. Thomas Massey's firm stance against Johnson. This vote could either confirm Johnson's role or lead to further political maneuvering within the GOP, affecting their legislative priorities and unity. Yeah, like I noted on this last week, I don't know if it's the best time to get rid of Johnson. I know that sounds crazy because I've been calling for him to get gone most of the year. But yeah, I don't think this is the best time since we're waiting on him to basically approve Donald Trump into the presidency. So to get him to certify, you have to approve him first. Now, if let's just say that doesn't happen and we get Jeffries or something, then you can kind of guess what might happen next. But even then, I still think that Trump probably would still be certified, but it would really bog things down if, for whatever reason, we got rid of Johnson right now. I want to get rid of him later. I don't know how fast we can call a vote. I think we can call it like honestly after Johnson gets Trump in, call a vote then. How about that? Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Just call a vote right after he gets Donald Trump in. And after that's done, then we can move on to the next thing. Okay? All right. Well, I'm not saying, my plan's even going to go as I would like it to, but yeah, anyways. Thomas Massey says, I conducted this poll just 1 week ago. Nearly everyone knows from this 18-month history of betraying Republicans and teaming with Democrats that Johnson isn't the right guy. If he fails on the first round today, a better speaker can be elected in a few hours or over the weekend. Okay, who's your guy? Who are you nominating, bro? I'm sure he probably doesn't want to say because it would probably get smacked down pretty quickly. And also, probably a public endorsement would probably sink his candidate just because he's probably created a lot of enemies at this point within Congress. But you have to play a little bit of team building because you have to play to their vote to some degree. And that's why I think it's such an odd place for Speaker Johnson to be because, I mean, yeah, he has appealed towards Democrats quite a bit, but usually whenever they do stuff like that, they make deals of like, okay, if I do this for you now, then you got to vote for, this later on or something. But anyways, Speaker Johnson says, thank you, President Trump. Today is a new day in America. Congressional Republicans must stay united to quickly deliver President Trump's America First agenda. Let's get it done. Good luck today for Speaker Mike Johnson, a fine man. of great ability. This is from Donald Trump, who is very close to having 100% support. A win for Mike today will be a big win for the Republican Party and yet another acknowledgement of our 129-year most consequential presidential election. 129-year. That's an interesting number to put out there. A big affirmation indeed, MAGA. I mean, I think Trump only supports him to get into office. I think he pays attention to the public discord, and he sees that a lot of people are unhappy. But, I mean, this is Trump's last term, so the thing about the last term is that you don't have to appeal to your base anymore. I mean, yeah, you can. I don't know. It's a weird place now because now he doesn't have to think about re-election. That is one thing that kind of concerns me with like second terms. Since you already know it's your last term, you can do anything you want. Not really, but you see what I'm saying. But we watched Biden get away with pretty much anything he wanted. Majority Taylor Greene says, "Dear colleagues, on tomorrow's vote for Speaker of the House," I think she was pretty heavy against Johnson, if I remember right.
Good evening, everyone. Tomorrow we convene at noon in the House of Representatives, and our first order of business will be to vote for Speaker of the House. This is a historic vote, and it is the first order of business that we have to accomplish before we can even swear in as members of Congress. Now, here's how I feel about it. You all have seen me disagree with Mike Johnson at times.
Yep.
You've seen me fight against him at times. Yep. But you want to know something else?
Nope.
Here's what I recognize. For the past 4 years, all of you, and myself included, have put blood, sweat, and tears into electing President Trump. And when you want to talk about blood, President Trump himself actually was the one that shed blood after an assassin shot him in the face.
Shut up.
Here's what I know. All of you are sick and tired and fed up out of the drama and all of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C. And after 2 terrorist attacks on our nation where innocent people were killed, and after 4 years of unbelievably horrific government policies, and now that we're in $36 trillion in debt, all of you at home, and myself included, are ready for the drama to end. Well, here's what I'm asking my colleagues to do. Let's put aside our pride, let's put aside our egos, and let's put aside the infighting. It's time to come together as Republicans, and it's time to do whatever it takes to make sure that we deliver the mandate that the American people told us to do. And that's why I'm excited tomorrow. I cannot wait to get started. I'll be voting for Mike Johnson. I will be looking ahead in complete hopefulness and working as hard as possible.
I kind of figured
we're going to elect a speaker, and then we're going to swear in as members of Congress. And then on Monday, we're going to certify the most historic election in our nation's history when we certify Donald John Trump's election as 47th President of the United States. We're going to spend a few weeks getting to work, working hard on preparing for his agenda. And then on January 20th, we're going to inaugurate Donald John Trump as the 47th President of the United States. Now, it's 18 long days until we get to that important day. And while all of us are praying and many of us are scared after what we've seen, and many of us are unsure if we'll be even able to get there and see President Trump go back in the White House, I'm going to tell you this. I'm giving it my all, and I can't wait to get started tomorrow. All right, we'll see you there.
I think she's doing exactly what I just said. I think she's coming together on the right things. You know, you got to get him through the finish line so that we can get Trump to the finish line. And after Trump's to the finish line, then we can start playing ball in the sense of getting out the corruption. I don't think Trump would have supported him this long if he didn't think that Mike would help him get to the finish line. But we'll just have to wait and see. Sometimes Trump likes to support certain people that he wants to expose later on. So We'll just have to see about some of that. At least that's some of the optics of the situation. That's how it appears from the outside. Whenever, I think there was like a few different people that he endorsed that, lost their campaign, but they ended up not being that great of candidates anyways. And he knows how to play politics. He knows how to, I guess, fuel the left's rage to help persuade people against certain candidates. And even the right, he'll talk on certain issues to even stimulate the right. All right. So Trump is appearing to lead support with the Republican Party. Majority Taylor Greene dropping her gripes just to vote for Johnson. And I'm sure we'll probably see a lot more of that. Let's see what Thomas Massie has to say, since Thomas Massie is the... He's looking a lot different. Is he on Ozempic too? Is this a... Oh, Matt Gaetz has got a show going. Okay. Rip Thomas Massie says he's not voting for Mike Johnson. No, you can pull all my fingernails out. You can shove bamboo up in them. Ew. You can start cutting off my fingers. I'm not voting for Mike Johnson. Wow.
If Chip Roy were asked to serve as chairman of the Rules Committee, would that be enough to get your vote for Mike Johnson?
Oh, no. You can pull all my fingernails out. You can shove bamboo up in them. You can start cutting off my fingers. I am not voting for Mike Johnson tomorrow. And you can take that to the bank.
Who are you voting for, Thomas? Who are you voting for? If Chip Roy were asked to serve as...
Who did this background for Matt Gaetz? This looks awful. Skinny letters down here. I'm sorry. I mean, my show probably looks 10 times worse than this, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, this is Matt Gaetz. I kind of expected better quality. Is that just me? I don't know. Y'all might like it. I don't. Why do I even talk shit? My show looks like shit. Speaker Johnson has led the House of Representatives with integrity, principle, and a servant's heart. I urge every member of House GOP to vote to re-elect this good and decent man as Speaker of the House. Godspeed, Mr. Speaker. From Mike Pence. What? Really? Of all people? Democrat Hakeem Jeffries is on track to make history and become the Speaker of the GOP House on Friday, says Politics Video Channel. Whatever. Obviously a leftist-leaning outlet. Politics Video Channel. Facts matter. God. It just seems like a joke now. Whenever I see, like, left try to hold some type of value or values, principles. As President Trump has said, House Republicans should rally behind House Speaker Mike Johnson. He's a very good man who's loyal to Trump and conservatives to his core. Political leaders disappoint us when they have to make compromise in divided government. Congressman Bob Good is a no on Mike Johnson for Speaker of the House. I'm absolutely voting for Mike Johnson as our House Speaker at tomorrow's vote, says Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie Jackson. President Trump has given a mandate by the American people to fix our country. The hard work can't begin until we come together as a conference and get to work.
To happen, and how specifically do you plan to vote, at least on the first round, on Speaker Johnson? Because that's just 15 hours away.
Well, I'm absolutely positively voting for Speaker Mike Johnson. He's done a good job under the circumstances. We need to get this. We need to move the ball right now. President Trump has stepped out and said, let's put Mike back in the speaker's role so we can move on with the Make America Great agenda and what the American people have told us that they want us to do. We have to do that now. There's no time to mess around. It's time to put on our game faces and get it done. And I hope that these people you're talking about, I hope that if they do vote against him, it's just a protest vote. We can get past that. We can come together as a conference, because we will not win, Jason, unless we come together as a team. It's one team, one fight right now. We've got the House, we've got the Senate, and we've got the presidency coming up. We've got to take advantage of this. We may never get another chance.
Foreshadow what's going to happen and how specifically do you plan to vote, at least on the first round, on Speaker Johnson? Because that's just 15 hours away.
Well, I'm absolutely positively voting for Speaker Mike Johnson. He's done a good job under the circumstances. We need to get this, we need to move the ball right now. President Trump has stepped out and said, let's put Mike back in the speaker's role so we can move on with the Make America Great agenda and what the American people have told us that they want us to do. We have to do that now. There's no time to mess around. It's time to put on our game faces and get it done. And I hope that these people you're talking about, I hope that if they do vote against him, it's just a protest vote. We can get past that. We can come together as a conference, because we will not win, Jason, unless we come together as a team. It's one team, one fight right now. We've got the House, we've got the Senate, and we've got the presidency coming up. We've got to take advantage of this. We may never get another chance.
Foreshadow what's going to happen and how specifically do you plan?
I mean, I think this is good for future votes, at least. The unity seems to be stronger than everyone's, I guess, what's the word? Not gripe, but grudge. Besides everyone's grudges. Rep. Jim McGovern, first by injecting partisan extremism into the rules, Republicans are totally destroying the role of the Speaker of the House. Their proposed changes would, for the first time in history, shield the Speaker from accountability to the entire chamber by making it so that our Republicans can move to vacate the chair. This makes it clear that they have no intention of working together to find common ground. Instead of electing a Speaker of the House, they decided to elect a Speaker of the Republican Conference, held hostage by their most extreme members. This is... okay. I don't know what state you're in. Top Dem on Rules Democrats. Co-chair. Whatever. You're a Democrat. That's all I need to say. Mike Johnson does not currently have the votes to remain Speaker. This is from Nick Shorter 19 hours ago, per Politico. Politico is a bit more left-leaning, at least in recent years. The Speaker vote is scheduled in less than 24 hours. I think he's going to be voted in, personally. I think he's going to get the votes, but we'll just have to see. I mean, it could go completely sideways. They'll probably just down to a few votes anyways. It could go even several days. We've seen the House Speaker vote go for several days. How many days did it go with McCarthy? It was insane there for a little bit. It's like, what was it, like 20 days or something crazy? Joe Concha, Fox News contributor, columnist. So, what's Massey's plan after he defies the incoming president? Who does he think he can be the next speaker? Where are the votes for this person? Very true. This is kind of my point. It's like, who does Thomas Massey want? Like I said, I don't even think he can tell people, because I think him giving a vote for a specific person would actually hurt that person's vote. Just because, I don't know, it's kind of weird, especially if you're on a team, if you're playing teams, Republicans versus Democrats. Whenever you have to vote like that, you always look at the one guy that's trying to divide the party as the weirdo. And then you're like, okay, no, you're not going to break up the family. You're not going to break up, everything that's, beautiful about this. Like, we're going to start to, I guess, what's the word? I don't know, gang up, I guess, against you so that we can vote against whatever you vote for. And you don't want to pull Republicans towards that side. At least, I don't know, it just divides the vote too much. Especially since Thomas Massey actually has some really good arguments for some of these things. I think he could pull a lot of people to the wrong direction. But I think the unity is stronger than Thomas Massey at this point. I don't think Thomas Massey has enough, I don't know. I just think that people are thinking about the bigger picture at this point. So, yeah, let me finish this. Joe Contra says, there is no plan. The election won't be certified. Trump enters chaos. This is all about Massey's ego and putting on a show, nothing more. I don't think it's that. I think Tom is, I think he's just appealing to his own values, his principles, and I think he's voting with his heart. And I'm right there with Thomas Massey on everything he says when it comes to this issue, but not right now. Just like it's one of those weird things where it's just like just because it's right now, dude. It's like, bro, I'm on your side. Just like chill. I wouldn't even be surprised if we actually see Thomas Massey vote for Speaker Johnson if we end up several days into this vote. Like that's just my general opinion. I want to repost this though. But yeah, this is true. Yeah, I actually voted in this little poll right here for Thomas Massey. On January 3rd, we will elect a Speaker of the House. This was actually on Christmas Day. Or maybe I voted on a different one. He might have had several votes. But yeah, everyone was picking someone else. Members vote for someone else. Crazy. I need to get on Discord again. Why am I not doing Discord anymore, y'all? I play video games and I'm not on Discord. I got a Discord, by the way. I just don't use it. And yes, guess what my username is? It's Tysites. Just in case anybody feels like following me or adding me. I've not been on there in a long time, so I'm really sorry for anybody that I've ignored. I'm not trying to. Voter ID law debate rekindled on social media. Recent social media posts by notable figures, including Elon Musk, highlight a discussion on voter ID laws, suggesting that a significant portion of Americans support such laws. The debate includes arguments on both sides, with supporters claiming voter ID prevents fraud, while some opposition voices concern over potential voter disenfranchisement. I went through that word quick. Particularly among lower income communities. The Democrats oppose voter ID so that they can commit voter fraud and not get caught. It's that simple. That's from Elon Musk. Amuse says, why do Democrats oppose voter ID? California Democrats are moving to block voter identification laws. This is from Jonathan Turley. In the new year, despite polling showing as much as 80% of Americans support the laws, so much for political resolutions to realign the party after the election losses in November. Probably should introduce the person before I say what they're saying. I don't know. I just like to insert things where I feel like it's due dissidence. Voter ID opinion. Do you favor or oppose requiring all voters to provide photo ID at their voting place in order to vote? Most Americans support voter ID. This issue isn't controversial. Yeah, the 15% of DEI hires vote against it. Basically, why is America one of the only advanced nations that don't require voter ID? Because they want to cheat. Straight to the point, I like it. It's also why they take over a month to count / create votes. If it were nationally implemented, the Democrats would have to put actual candidates up or face defeat every time. Hell, I still even kind of wonder if, like, I don't know, let's just... I mean, the 2016 election was pretty weird, y'all. I don't know if, like, any of y'all remember that. That was almost 10 years ago now. Jesus. Holy crap, y'all. 2 years ago. Or in 2 years, it's going to be...